Hello. Welcome to How to Draw Comics the Manga Way, Part 1, The Head. Everybody, let's get started. I'm going to use pencils or pen at home. I find that actual tools aren't that important. Behind them, that is. Alright, we're going to start with a circle here. Block it off for good measure. To show you what we got here. Now, the head, yes, it is circular-like, but it's not quite. Let's look at what we're up against here. Alright, see we got this kind of round, kind of not here, but you see if we look at it from the side, it's kind of this sphere here, and then it comes down into a jaw. Okay? Now that's an important piece of information. Let's go back to our circle here. Basic thing to remember is that heads vary from person to person. And yeah, they are kind of, for example, the chin length. Okay? Now, depending on the age or the character of the face, this is actually subjective. Now, if you're drawing a cute little girl type, it's probably going to be pretty much right where the natural sphere ends. Okay? Not much of a variation. But if you have, say, a Jay Leno type character, the chin will be all the way down there. Okay? And it can be adjusted like that, up to an extra third or more, an extra 50% or more. All right. Now that we have this in place, now that we have a chin line in place, we can start to come down with the full scope of the face. Well, why is it important to do all this? Well, I'll tell you why. Okay? Because a lot is determined relative to where the face ends, on the bottom. As long as you stick with those rules of proportion, you can master any style, or you can even make up a style of your own. The first rule to know is that the nose line is halfway in between the center of the sphere and the end of the chin. That's why we need to figure out where this was first. Okay? Now, the problem is really aren't many noses in anime. Typically what we have is what I call the Intrinsic Shadow. It's the shadow on the dark end of an object, not the cast shadow, which is beyond the ground. And more on that later. The thing is, halfway between there and the end, we're taking another halfway here, that's the mouth line. Now, of course, there is little room for maybe a cleft chin. It's a more masculine type character, and there are rooms for other variations here. And of course, there's going to be a slight variation when the character is screaming and their jaw is all the way open. But besides that, you're pretty tight here. Now we get on to the important part. Those great big anime eyes. Now the thing to know about the head is that each eye has 4 eyes in it. And no, I'm not talking about wearing glasses. I'm talking about the eye proportions rule. Basically state that the distance in between the eyes is the same as an eye. So no matter how big you're making your eyes, you just have to make sure that that size is the amount in between them. And when you're done, there should be a little half eye over here and a half eye over there, making a total of a 4-eyed face. There you go. Now, another thing to note here, this center line, that's not where you start drawing your eyes. No, no, no. Not that simple, my friend. That's where you start drawing the eyebrows. Yes. If your character does have eyebrows, this is where they would go. And underneath that, that's where you start with the eye. Now here I'm starting with the top eyelash here. I'm going to space down exactly where I want everything. And I bet you're saying, still scratching your head about that third eye rule. Yes, there is some room for movement here. Can't exaggerate this a little bit. But you have to do it from the inside. You can stretch the eyes out a little bit, making them narrower or slimmer vertically. But you have to make sure that there is at least one eye length in between them. Okay. Alright. So now we know where our eyes are going, what they're doing. Now all we've got to do is place them. Now a lot of people put very particular care into them. Some people, just have a very quick system. Me, I have a plenty quick system. What we're going to do is, she's looking straight at you. No problem. Just going to cut them in half, like so. Yeah, I know, she's got the red eyes. You should try Visine. Visine is awesome. This is the fastest way to do it. But the basic structure that you're trying to go for is trying to do a major highlight in the upper left corner, and then a counter highlight on the bottom. Now, whether or not you actually want to have the black of the eyes, that's subjective. As long as you have the structure of the eye, eyebrow, the eyelashes, the proper spacing, of course the iris, and the two counter highlights. Two counter highlights are the main thing. And there are tapes on here. Alright, not bad, huh? Then there are a couple of other little touches, like ears, if they're not obscured by something. They start at the top of the eye, the curve there, and go down. Now, ideally, they're supposed to end at the bottom of the eye, but we know what we're doing here. We're making some pretty seriously big eyes. So if you don't come all the way down, it's forgivable. Alright, then there's the neck. You've got to think about the center half of it. I think just come down with a very natural line, curving inward.